What's up, my loves? It's your girl Diamond, and I'm back with my own new review of Love and Marriage Huntsville. I know it's late, but let's get into it. So it's the next day, okay? The big fiasco, the big fight we've all been waiting for has come and gone. Now it's a new day. Destiny is at her beauty supply store. Tiffany comes over to give her apologies for not being able to make it. And Destiny is just like, oh, it's okay, girl, you didn't miss nothing. But what you did miss was two people who I did not invite showed up. Tiffany said, who showed up? Stormy. She was the first one who showed up with flowers in a Gucci box. Tiffany was like, oh, that's so nice. That's a friend, right? Coming in to support you. Yeah, coming to support. Because Tiffany also added on to what Destiny received from Stormy. Flowers. She sent the same thing to Tiffany, flowers, and some of her hair products. And hearing that, how giving Stormy is, that she will send Tiffany some flowers and some hair products, it lets me know that Stormy has a really big heart. She's very nurturing. She's very caring. She comes from humble beginnings. In the beginning, I wasn't receptive to Stormy, but later, I actually like her. I follow her. I am about to purchase some of her hair products. I've seen it in Target multiple times. I'm like, ooh, let me go ahead and grab some because I love supporting Black products, Black women products especially. So I don't like the fact that Destiny just writes it off as if she just did that. Girl, bye, okay? And she did pull Destiny to the side to have a conversation with her to plan a actual sit down so they can get to the bottom of their beef and move forward. But she wasn't receptive in that conversation. I don't know when you'll be receptive to any conversation, Destiny, when you stop acting like a child. Because you act as if everybody is supposed to just grovel at you and be like, please, 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 because there was audio from a deleted scene of that event that we could hear Stormy pleading to Destiny to accept the flowers, accept the gift. I'm really a nice person. I want to squash things with you. I don't have a beef with you. You know what I'm saying? We don't have beef for real, for real. And you hear Stormy pleading majority of the audio. You don't hear Destiny say nothing. You hear Destiny just still be in her petty mindset, which is not good at all. It's terrible. And I'm never going to beg somebody to be a friend of mine. You know what I'm saying? If I'm giving you an olive branch, if I am stepping out on faith to give you of support, give you like, girl, I understand we've had our issues, we've had a disagreement, but I don't want us to keep having this between us, okay? I am extending that, and if you want to take it, we can move forward. But if I'm the only one that's stepping out on faith to give you an olive branch, to give you a way for us to move forward, and you don't receive it, you don't put in an effort, then I'm not going to be a friend to you. I'm not about to have a one-sided friendship where every time something goes wrong or we get in a disagreement, I'm the one that's taking the initiative to say sorry when when it wasn't my fault. So I'm not about to beg nobody to be a friend, okay? Because Destiny have a hard time with recognizing that she is the cause of her own demise. She is the cause of how her relationships have been. Melody, Stormy, you know what I'm saying? Her husband, like, she needs to recognize her point, her part in all of this. Then after that, more irritation comes because Melody showed up. Now, she assumed that Melody didn't speak to her. And if she did speak to her, she did not hear it and it wasn't good enough for her. So when she left, she wanted to follow behind her and say, the next time you come into somebody's establishment, you speak, okay? I should have scored you out like you did Tisha. I'm just looking at Destiny like, girl, she spoke to you, okay? The viewers heard it. The production team heard it. It was captioned under the screen where it said, hi, Destiny. And I can hear it. I can hear Melly say, hi, Destiny. You literally was creeping around your damn store looking to see if you can see Mel in your direction. You wasn't trying to move forward. You was trying to be mad. And you want to wait until she leaves the store to run behind her and speak? Girl, bye. You need to get your grown ass in order. If you didn't hear her, all you had to do was say, hey, Mel, did you speak to me when you walked in? Oh, girl, I did. Oh, you didn't hear? I didn't hear you? Oh, I'm sorry, girl, but thank you for coming. Like, it didn't have to be all of that. Like, I don't even know how long Melody was inside your store. She could have been inside your store for like 15, 20 minutes. You had ample time to walk in her direction. Your store is not that big. You could have walked up to her and say, Melody, did you speak to me when you walked in? Girl, you did? I'm sorry, I didn't hear you, but thank you so much. Like, for real, Destiny, you want to wait until she leaves to want to say, you better speak to me when you walk in somebody else's establishment. Don't do that. Like, Destiny, you want to stay mad. I don't know if you want to stay mad as a deflection of not trying to talk about what's going on with you because you don't give shit. Like right, like isn't this the time where we supposed to know? Like, how can you? I'm like fumbling because I don't even know what else Destiny doesn't want to admit. Like your man, your business, your divorce. Like you don't want to talk about nothing. So after hearing news about what happened, she said that Melody came over to Wanda's tent, and I don't know because the way that Destiny was just saying it, she was saying it as if she did not know exactly what led to Melody confronting Wanda. Like she was just, responding with, with Miss Wanda saying, you need to find your baby daddy or something like that, And this is like, Destiny, as much as you want to act like this wasn't a big deal, this wasn't something for Melody to do a trade event, she didn't have enough reason to respect you. You know why Melody had every right and every opportunity and every intention to confront Miss Wanda about what she's been saying about her children. You know she did. So I don't know why you're trying to protect Wanda or protect anybody in the situation because you don't like Mel at this point. And Tiffany was like, okay, she's hearing from her side, but she hasn't heard from anybody else. And why would they come to your event and make a mess? And as Tiffany said, I had to work on my timing of expressing or confronting something. So maybe this wasn't the right time, especially when it came down to what happened at the Valentine's Day event and how the event took place. And as far as like getting invited, everybody was invited for the Valentine's Day event to squash what happened because you had an issue with not being invited to Melody's Christmas party. And now it's just like, how do we get here? How do I go from not being invited to your Christmas party, the downsizing event, and you not being invited to my event, but yet you show up anyway? How is that support? Either way, Destiny, when it comes down to the invite, this was a public reopening of a store you're going to open to the public. There was a flyer made, right? So even if Melody came without you telling her she can't come, this still should have been an open invite because it's a public store. And production made them come because you cannot be on a reality TV show without having all the cast at one place or another. You can't. There could be private moments, there could be special moments, but when it comes to a big event, all the cast needs to come. And we all know that this was a long time coming for Melody to confront Wanda. Sorry it was at your event, but nobody cared about your beauty supply store. Nobody cared. Moving on. So she did receive apologies from everybody, but did not receive one from Melody. I don't like the fact that Destiny's trying to make it seem as if Melody is to blame for all of this. And nobody's placing the blame on Miss Wanda. Miss Wanda shouldn't be online talking about somebody else's children, okay? And if someone caught wind of you talking about somebody else's children, oh yeah, it's any opportunity that I can get when I'm in her presence, I'm gonna confront that ass, okay? And you can't get mad that I am coming at you with the energy you've been coming at me on your computer screen. You cannot, okay? Kimmy, Maurice, Tisha, and Marceau. They're about to meet up to talk about what happened, right? Tisha is the first to arrive. She don't even know if Marceau is gonna make it because they had a big fight the night before. He yelled at her, made her the fault of what happened, and pretty much just told her to shut the fuck up and be quiet. She didn't like that he was speaking to her in that manner. She's getting fed up with how he's talking to her. I don't know why, Tisha. He's been coming at you that way for years, telling you to be quiet, telling you to stop talking. Like you've rambled a lot about what you want to say. He stops you at every single time because he doesn't want you to speak on what you want to speak on. He wants to silence you. And I don't know why he's blaming you about what happened last night when he was in control of his own manners at that point, And she's like talking to Maurice, you need to talk to your brother. Like you need to tell him why he talks to me like that and he shouldn't talk to me like that. Maurice said, we need to tell Marceau how he talked to Tisha because he hurt her feelings. I was like, Maurice, that's not funny. That's not funny. And Kimmy, come on, Kimmy. Come on, you need to speak up, okay? Say, don't say that. Because they all know how sensitive Tisha is. And the fact that you are not going to even think about how your brother spoke to his wife is not a problem. And he even said, and I don't know why I'm even thinking that's something that Maurice could even do. Because if I'm telling Marceau how to talk to Tisha, that'll be me talking to myself. Because he's not going to listen. Just like you, Maurice. You don't listen either. You men have your own way of thinking, your own way of saying things. And can't nobody tell y'all wrong because y'all don't accept when you guys are wrong. You guys don't open up your mind to receiving how you could be coming off like this, because you guys don't think like that. You guys think it's your way and that's the only way to think. So Marceau arrived, and he said that it was a tension buildup of people who weren't going to fight their own battles. I was confused about what he meant. People who weren't going to fight their own battles. What are you talking about? Melody and Miss Wanda were in it, okay? Melody was not backing down, and Miss Wanda wasn't backing down. So who wasn't going to fight their own battles? Who are you talking about? And he mentioned how Martell was protecting Melody. Marceau tried his best to protect Miss Wanda. And come to find out, Martell and Marceau had a private conversation after what happened, and they came to a resolution. And they had an understanding that they were both protecting the people that they love, and they want to make certain that they weren't putting themselves in harm's way. So right now, that means since we had a conversation, the men spoke, y'all don't need to talk about it anymore. Y'all don't need to bring it up. Y'all don't need to make any type of conversation about it because the men handled it. So y'all don't need to speak. That don't make no sense to me. And Kimmy said, something always happens in this group. How do we fix it? He recognizes that Miss Wanda is too much, okay? Miss Wanda is too much, okay? She cannot control her outbursts, then she cannot be a part of my life. Marie said that's her mama. We cannot take away her mama from her. That's her mama, okay? She's going to always be part of her life. He doesn't want unnecessary drama. Don't want no trouble. They could have lost everything, okay? He was so dramatic, okay, that with what happened between them, someone could have been dead or in the hospital. And I'm just watching this scene. I'm like, what? Are y'all even talking at this point? Because I wasn't even paying attention to what Marceau was saying, because he was saying all these big words that didn't match what happened. We were supposed to be talking about Miss Wanda and her need to go on her Facebook Live and talk about Melody and her children. That's what needs to be discussed right now, okay? Not talking about how, actually not even talking about it, but keep on saying that if that didn't happen, the men could have been in trouble. The men could have been this. The men could have been that. I'm like, what? They are overlooking the problem. We're not talking about the elephant in the room. We're not talking about the reason. We're not talking about why does Tisha always defend her mother when she's in the wrong? Why is no one checking her? Why are we not talking about what was said? We're not talking about what happened that night. All Marceau want to talk about is we shouldn't have put ourselves in that situation. That shouldn't have been us. We shouldn't have done this. Marceau, you went over to talk to Martell and defended Wanda in front of him. And he said, if you're speaking about the child or talking about the parents, it's affecting the child. That's what he's saying. And you did not hear that Miss Wanda was in the store talking about how he needs a DNA test. That's talking about the child. And you say you didn't hear it. Then you shouldn't speak on things you haven't heard. How about that? That should make sense. And then when he was walking away from you, you got aggressive and wanted to get your point across, defending Wanda even more. That pissed him off. Your brother gets in, pushes him, and that's where the whole fight came about. At that point, Wanda and Melody were probably done arguing, because Melody was about to get in the car. Miss Wanda was on the other side with Tisha. You and Maurice and Martell were by yourselves, and y'all carried on another argument. That's what happened, Marceau. You need to take accountability and responsibility that you made it worse when you decided to get into something. You and your waist trainer. Like, are you kidding me? Marceau is a misogynistic asshole, because he said, I will never put myself in a situation like that again, especially with women, because you women always put men in this and that. Y'all don't understand the collateral damage that us men have to go through. And I'm just like, what the hell? You men tell me you're gonna place blame on Wanda, no, Melody and Tisha of a part that you played in? You're gonna blame them for your actions? And I'm like, he's placing blame on the women. Now look at how they got there. Marceau, you have a part to play in this. Everybody had a part to play in what happened at that event. Everybody. And nobody is taking accountability. Not even Maurice, not Marceau, not Tisha. Nobody is. I'm not even counting Melly and Martell, because they knew what they were going to do. Melly and Martell already had a conversation before then. They were going to confront Miss Wanda. So right now, I need for the other Scots to come out and say, yeah, we messed up. Yeah, because Maurice, you put your hands on Martell first. Huh. I don't know what's happening here. I am not understanding of what's being talked about. Marceau was really conflicted with having to protect his wife at an event when nobody was attacking his wife. Nobody was coming at Tisha. Nobody was cussing at her, fussing at her, getting in her face. When Melody was telling her what her mother said, Tisha was still defending her mother, and that's what made Melody mad, but Melody never got in her face. And when you said that comment about how Martell was protecting Melody, you were upset that Tisha was in front of him and you wanted to make it seem as if anything got out of hand, Martell would have hit your wife. That don't make no sense. Because you want to be an even playing field, so you want to step in. Marceau, miss me. Just miss me, okay? Miss me, okay? And telling her that she should just listen and stay out of it. Listen what I'm telling you. And how you've had to protect her a few times in this life. In the years you've been married, you had to protect her a few times. I'm like, what times were those? Because you haven't protected her from the rumors. You haven't protected her from the comments. You haven't given her no reassurance of how you protected her. You didn't even protect her when it came down to her mother. How it should have been handled is you should have grabbed your mother-in-law and say, Miss Wanda, we can't do this. No, Miss Wanda, stop. You better not stop. That's how you should have handled it. That's what a real man would do. Not a real man would allow his mother-in-law to get cussed at, but take his wife away from the situation. That makes no sense. Okay, Kimmy's in the kitchen talking to Tisha and how she's saying that Marceau adores her. And if it wasn't for your mother, we would have been in a situation. Because if this wasn't your mother, we wouldn't be here. Okay, if Miss, but it's still not like being talked about. You know what I'm saying? Like Tisha's gonna ride for her mother as long as she rides for her mother. That's her mom. We can't take that away from her. I would do the same thing. That's my mama too. But I will let my mama know you doing too much. You're going too far. You going on live talking about that lady's children was wrong. Okay. And yes, you can't control a grown woman, but same point in time, Tisha, you do know what you need to do to keep your mother at bay. You do know. You don't want to. It's not that you're afraid. It's not that you're scared. You enjoy your mama getting into some bullshit. But you want to be like, I don't know why she just do what she does. I don't know why. Because Tisha, remember in the earlier seasons, you and your mama have had plenty of conversations about what you feel and how you feel about this and how this person made you feel, and your mother comes in and defends your battles. So right now she's battling with how Marceau talked to her and how he told her that she needs to listen to him. And she said, you're not about to have a voice in the situation. So when he said that, she was like, what you mean I don't have a voice? I do have a voice. And she's feeling as though Marceau is treating her like a slave. Those were her words, a slave, okay? And he's blaming her for putting him in that situation. Marceau, you took it upon yourself to drag Tisha out of it, talk to Martell to defend Miss Wanda, and you and your waist trainer got out of pocket, got out of hand, and you wanted to fight. Remember, when you were in that rage and everybody telling you to calm down, you didn't like being told to calm down. You said it's worse to tell someone to calm down when they're trying to be calm. You can't do that to another person. So Marceau, please take responsibility into the part that you played. Please do. Please do. And right now, this is where that whole scene pissed me off, okay? Because nobody is talking about what happened. The Scotts are not talking about what happened. They're just keep on talking about the fight, the fight, the fight, the fight. Can we get to what led up to the fight? Wanda. That's what led to the fight, okay? And it's just like, I don't know what it is. And y'all, Tisha and Marceau make it as if they don't play along, but they don't go below the belt. They don't make shady comments. It's about Melody and Martell. There's one who started it. No. Marceau, you make shady comments every single chance you get. Tisha, you do too. Like, y'all are not as perfect. You guys are not as innocent as y'all make yourself out to be. Okay? And then she said she wasn't going to fight, miss me. And getting that Marceau wanted to protect her, but it wasn't right for you to tell me that I shouldn't be involved. And it was wrong for him to not let her defend her mom at all costs. But the problem is, we're not talking about the issue. We're not talking about what led to this. Tisha, defending your mom is what you should have done. But what you did not do was correct your mother on what she's been saying. So right now, I don't want to dwell on this. That's what Marceau said. He don't want to dwell. He wants to get back into business, renovating for Madani Suites. But apparently, moving forward with Martell, is that an option? Tisha don't want to do business with him. She didn't want to do business with him in the first place. But now she wants to say, for someone who exhibits the same traits as they said they did before, then you believe them. Basically trying to make it as if Martell is the same person that he was from the beginning, is the same person that he is now. I'm like, what? Girl, no, because Martell was doing anything wrong last episode. He was doing what he was supposed to do. Protect the mother of his kids. Defend what needs to be defended. Okay. He didn't come out of pocket. He didn't argue with nobody. He didn't do nothing but defend the mother of his children. That's all he did. For her to want to add on to how he was with the 20 women is the same person that he was at that event. No, Tisha. No. No, he didn't do nothing wrong. Okay. You guys are looking for someone to blame and not take accountability. That's what you guys are doing. Please call Miss Wanda out. That's what they don't want to do. And right now, since she is the president of the company, she has the right to say, I don't want to work with him. Even though Marceau was going to make Tisha believe that she has the power to who she can and cannot say you can work with, okay? And for me, when it came down to Marceau saying he wants to work with him, I'm just like, what was the point of this? And then it hit me. Marceau wanted to make it just enough to be cordial with Martell so he can still be cool with him. So that way he doesn't air him out, because Martell got info on Maurice and Marceau. That's why they still stick behind him. He got info on them, and they don't want to rock that boat. They don't want to. And Maurice makes a comment about, would you have him do other odd end jobs? And Marceau said, we would not hire an unlicensed contractor. So he still don't have a builder's license. But at the same point in time, though, Marceau, you were moving like you're ready to get back into business with him, even though he wasn't licensed. So make that make sense to me. Why would you entertain him into bringing him back into the company when he wasn't licensed? All the way when you had a conversation, Tisha had a conversation, but now we get to the fight. Oh no, it's a wrap. We're not bringing him on because he's not even licensed. Marceau missed me. You want to place all the blame on him, and you want to cover up the fact that you still want to kind of work with him. You want to still be cool with him, but you want to say, okay, if Tisha said no, then Tisha said no. Marceau, be a man. Be a man and admit, I don't mind not working with him, but I kind of still want to be friends with him because he knows my secrets and I cannot make him mad, because we all know what he does when he gets mad. He tells secrets, so I can't have him tell my secrets just yet. Which is bullshit though, Marceau. Like, anyway, I'm done. Melody and Martell, they come over. Martell checks on her, just checking on everything, how everything's been going on, and she appreciates him stepping up and protecting her in that moment. He said, of course, you're the mother of my kids. We family at the end of the day. We got to have each other's backs, you know what I'm saying? But what happened before that? So Destiny, she said Destiny lies because she said I did not speak to her, which I did. And I'm not about to give moments to other people. I'm not about to, okay? And after that, I speak to Miss Wanda. You know, I'm cool, calm, and collected. I ain't got no problem talking about nothing to nobody, okay? And Miss Wanda walked around the table to get in her face. She's still cool. I ain't got nothing against it. Let's go. Let's talk, okay? But what really made her mad was how Miss Wanda thinks that she can come and poke and point at Melody. Point in her face left and right, and did not expect for Melody to get her back. Which was shocking, I guess, to other people. I don't know why. Why is it wrong for Melody to come at the same energy that Miss Wanda has been giving her? Like, I'm not a child. You want to point, I can point back too. We can yell, I can yell too. You want to cuss, I can cuss too. So what's up? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't understand why people are making it seem as if Melody had her whole intention was to mess up Destiny's event and to confront Miss Wanda, as she should have. She did the right way. She confronted Bernard about the choppers. She confronted Miss Wanda about the babies. And I don't know if anybody watched the roast and review on Scotty by Nature's TV with Giving the Real Tea and Josiah's World. They had Miss Wanda on there. I couldn't finish the whole thing because Miss Wanda was not taking accountability. She kept on covering up her reasoning of why she did what she did, because last episode she said she got the information from Martell about a baby not being his. She meant the baby that Melody was pregnant for the 5th time, that Melody had a you-know-what. And Martell said in that interview with Dr. Heavenly that, oh, is that mine? Was that mine? Because you just ended it like that. He never mentioned any of his children because he said the children that he had with Melody were his. So that one was something that Melody decided on her own because she didn't want to have any more children with him. Miss Wanda took that information and spun it and made it seem as if that was the baby she was talking about that Martell needed a DNA test on. A baby that's not here anymore. But then she flipped it and said he need a DNA test because that baby looked like that other man. There's no other baby besides Sugar Mama. So were you going back to what you mentioned before, where you were talking about Sugar Mama, to say you were talking about a baby that's not here anymore is still wrong, and it doesn't make any sense to do all this. And the point that I'm trying to make is that's still bullshit. That's still bullshit though. You know what I'm saying? And what happened after that, seeing how him, Maurice, and Marceau got into it, she wasn't about to let it be a 2-on-1. So she wanted to make it certain that since he was defending me against Wanda, I'm going to defend him against them. Because you're not about to come into his face. That's what you're not about to do. And they weren't paying attention when Miss Wanda was free, getting ready to swing on Mel from the back. All he felt was a wind of somebody brushing past him. And he already on his defense mode, like, who hit me? Who hit me? I was doing my quick reflexes, like, what's up? As he should have. Because you're not about to run past me to hit the mother of my kids. That's what you're not about to do. And nobody's talking about that. So now that it got to a level of getting physical, that's where it got too far. And Mela talking about, why does Maurice always jump into Marceau's fights? I don't know, Melody. Maurice always has to defend and come in and fix Marceau's problems. Since Maurice is the oldest and Marceau is the baby, he has to defend his brother. Now, we're not saying he can't defend his brother, but like, damn, sir. You can't handle this on your own? You always got to be big brother, same little brother? Excuse me, let your little brother handle his own battles because that's the battle that he started, and you made it worse when you put your hands on Martell. And that's where the fight happened. He felt that Marceau was getting smart because he was telling him, whenever you're talking about the children, you're talking about the children. And he did not agree with that, which led to him walking off, Marceau get into his face, and saying how they cannot control Miss Wanda. Okay, bet. Here's the solution. Don't have her around us. Do not bring her around us, and we ain't got no, we not gonna have no problem. Just don't bring her around us. Just don't do it. Don't do it, okay? They don't want to be around her because she's negative. She brings bad energy. She's been online dogging Melody out. 4 months at that point, but she's been dogging Mel out for years. Ever since the show started. The last 3 years, she's been dogging Melody out. Basically, she don't want Wanda in her life. I don't want her in my life. I don't want her in my space. I don't. Martell is still hopeful that they can be cordial. So he wants to plan a dinner. Bring everybody back in where it started to talk about what happened. We're going to talk about Miss Wanda. We're going to talk about what we can and cannot accept. And if we cannot move forward, then we can just be cordial. Melody is hopeful, but we got to be certain that everybody plays their part. Everybody has to be aware of what part they played in. Okay? Could we come back? I don't know. I feel like once you move to the point of your mama talking about my children, ain't no point in coming back. Ain't nothing. It's a wrap. It's a done deal. Stormy. So Stormy's at her estate. And she invited Tiffany over because Tiffany's a dog lover. Stormy loves animals. Oh my gosh, Stormy's dog was so beautiful in his fluffy white coat. I wanted to bury my head in that coat. It was so fluffy. And her dog ran off. So she had to get her husband to come and get the dog. He walked in with his sandwich. It was so funny. And she's balancing on being a wife, a mother, a businesswoman, and everything, especially doing it from home. And turns out she would like to carry one more time because she wasn't in that space where she wanted any more children based off of how difficult it was for her to get pregnant. But maybe try to carry one more and have a surrogate. Tiffany is not ready to be an empty nester. She still wants to be a mother, blah, blah, blah. So now they talk about Destiny's event. Before they get to it, it was a thunderstorm. And they had to run back to the patio, which was a very long run because it was a very long driveway that Stormy had. I want to be like Storm when I grow up. I want to have a huge estate just like that, okay? So Tiffany tells her what Destiny said, and she knows that there is two sides in the truth. So what Destiny told me was, When Melody got done with her, she made a beeline towards Wanda. When Stormy heard that, she said, done with her. There was no animosity when Melly walked in. I don't know what she said that for. Really, nah, nah. And when she left to go with Miss Wanda, I didn't see no animosity in there either. Now, mind you, Storm was inside the whole time, but she didn't see what she saw. But she still felt as though it was no animosity between Melody and Destiny. And when she walked to see Miss Wanda, it was still all pleasantries. But also, it did shock her to see that Miss Wanda ran up behind the car to attack Melody. That's what was like, oh wow. I have never seen an old woman act that way. Girl, don't we all? So hearing what went down based off of what Destiny said, and Destiny did not tell it the right way. She wanted to play it off as if it's all Melody's fault that this happened. It's all her fault that this happened. Girl, no. And Tiffany asked this to Destiny. Do you think that what happened at your store is going to hinder its reputation? When she asked the same question to Stormy, she said, I don't know. I mean, she better take this. This is the most action Madonna's ever had. She should have took it and ran with it. She doesn't believe that there's no such thing as bad press. I would say bad press is better than no press. Child, I would take it because apparently that's the only thing that's happened inside your store. You're not getting no business. And I'm just like, Stormy, you're not lying. I know it was shady, but you wasn't lying. Is Madonna open? Is she selling out products? I haven't seen nothing. I haven't heard nothing except for that she don't pay people and that it's not open. So basically, you know what I'm saying? So Destiny, I really hope you don't take this to the wrong way, but your store isn't open. Your store is not getting any business. So I don't think it's gonna do nothing to it. It's gonna be exactly what it was, a closed store. That's it. So it's not gonna tarnish no reputation because there was no reputation. At the end, she asked Tiffany to be a part of her commercial. She said, yes, I did see the commercial. It was very P-Valley. I loved it. Martell meets up with Chris Fletcher to talk about moving to a new house because his lease is up. So he wants to buy a new house. And since Chris did give him the house he's living in now, it will be right for him to find him another home. Come to find out, Huntsville was voted the most popular place to live in America. I did not know that. So then just talking about what's going on with Mel, moving forward, parenting, all this and that, and the third. He got invited to the family vacation. He's so excited about that. And what happened at the Madonna event. Obviously, Chris heard what happened, and he said, listen. It was a lot that happened, and it just left with, I don't want to move forward with Marceau. Because his mouth be this. He talks too much, okay? And will you still move forward in business? No, he wouldn't. He don't, and actually it shocked me that Martell said he did not want to move forward with business with Marceau because he feel like, listen, once you go cross that line or bringing up children, ain't no coming back. Apparently, he said that they did have a conversation, but this wasn't the first conversation they've had about children. He spoke to Marceau before about children being off limits. So right now, you don't understand why children are off limits. Don't know where their friendship could be at this point. So Ixnay on the business is very 50-50 about where the friendship is. If you've had a conversation with Marceau more than once about not bringing up children and he still don't get it, then there's no need for this friendship because that's still fucked up. You know what I'm saying? So right now he wants to bring them all together for a dinner. Is Melly gonna come? Yeah. Melly and Tisha in the same room? Yikes. How's that gonna go? It's gonna be fine as long as everybody opens up on what they've done. That's where it's gonna go. So help me find a new house. Chris makes a comment that after the family vacation, you might not need to move. No, he's gonna move because Melody is not about to go down that road, and we know what happened at the family vacation. We know what happened. So yeah, him needs to find another place. That's what he needs to do. Stormy invited Destiny, hopefully to squash the situation. Destiny did not look like she was happy to be in there. I don't know why. Destiny has a stank face. It's written all over her face. It's written all in her energy, and she does not want to be there. Okay? So Stormy told Destiny that she felt dismissed when it came down to entering her store, which was the truth. As soon as Destiny peeped on who was pulling in, she told her manager not to let them in. But I did not think there would have been any issue when I wanted to come in and support. That's why when I was told to walk away, I wanted to at least give you the flowers, give you the gift, because I wanted to support the business. She did not want to receive the gift. She did not want to receive the Gucci bag. She would rather receive some of Stormy's products. some Canvas Beauty products than a Gucci bag. And listen, she said, okay, she's always wanted to be in retail. That was her dream. So when her business was growing, she had just started connecting with a broker and a distributor. I am new. I am learning as I'm going. And when they offered me what I knew and how they can stock my products without having me do it, that was the deal that I was going towards. So they was about to navigate and tell me on who is the best way to go to stock my products, because she needs a return on her products. You know what I'm saying? If I'm stocking the store for you to purchase, if you give me the money to stock my products in the store, you're getting that back once my products is inside your store. So she wasn't about to just be willy-nilly to give her products to anybody without having the guarantee that she'll be making her money back. And you have to be careful on who you get into business with to stock your products, because you never know. So Stormy did the right thing by not automatically getting into business with Destiny of stocking her products in her store if she did not have the guarantee that she would see a money from that. And since Madani isn't open on a regular basis, her products would have been sitting on the shelf collecting dust. Even though certain objects have a long shelf life, we don't know. So the fact that Destiny still wants to act as if Stormy is purposefully not giving her products to sell, it's business, Destiny. I have to go with the decision that's going to make me business. It's not personal. So right now it is what it is, but she always wants to support black businesses. Stormy said, I don't want us to have an issue. And then Melody, being a mutual friend of ours, I don't want us to be in an animosity, because I'm not about to dislike somebody because my friend dislikes somebody. Now, she don't like the fact that Melody is in the conversation, even though you were the one who keep on mentioning what Melody did to you. And Melody might think, and you might think that her and Melody are friends, but if we're going to move forward, don't bring up Melody towards me. Destiny, as far as her mentioning Melody towards you, that shouldn't make you feel away, because that is the truth. Melody was the one who did bring up Stormy. Melody was the one who brought you to the table. So Melody is the common friend that you guys have in common. It doesn't. She wasn't talking about the issue that you have with Destiny. She was talking about Melody being the common friend that brought us together. That's what she was talking about, okay? And open up with how she did not speak to her when she walked in. Oh, she didn't speak to you? No. You didn't tell her that you thought she didn't speak to you? I wasn't in the mood to confront her. I wasn't in the mood for that. So Stormy still can't understand why Destiny and Melody have a fallout, because if someone walked in my store and didn't speak to me, I would have confronted them and be like, hey, I don't know if you saw me, but girl, you walked in. What's up? How you doing? So for her to just wait until Melody walked out to turn up is pretty whack. It's pretty bitch made. It's pretty pussy for her to do. Like, it don't make no sense. But apparently, she just gonna agree to disagree. However you handled it, don't agree to me. So right now they can be cordial. Destiny is expecting people to just understand where she's coming from, and is expected for her to just write it off. You know what I'm saying? Destiny wants people to just meet her where she's at. Not give any explanation, not say why, just accept it for what it is. I'm always on 10 and it's not a third, so you don't need to know more about it. But you want people to want to know more about it. But you want them to guess. You want them to constantly call and call and call, when you can just say, you know what, girl, I'm not feeling it because of this, because of that. And that's where it could have been squashed. But for Destiny to think that she had a right to not confront Melody, of thinking that she didn't speak to her and wait until she left to have a moment, don't make sense. So right now, moving forward, Stormy wants to bring everybody together. Destiny's obsessed. She don't want to bring nobody together. She wants them to just be where they're at. I can't be in a bad space with someone for so long and not have resolution. That's going to be tiring. I'm not giving my energy and being mad or being irritated or being in an awkward space with someone that can easily say, what's up? Let's talk. Let's move on. If you want to stay mad, you stay mad. I'm not about to stay mad for nothing. I'm going to move forward and live my life. I ain't got time for this. Stormy is hopeful they can come together. She said, no, it will need Jesus Christ himself to come in and fix this. Until then, I'm Gucci. Fine. So we ended off with Tisha Marceau at Black. And guess who walks in? Funky Dineva walks in, says hello. Talk about how he loved Maryland, he loved Huntsville. He has family in Alabama. He was there to spend time with them. This whole scene with Tisha and Marceau and Funky, it didn't seem real. it seemed like it was an automatic setup. How this is the time frame. This was a time slot that he was supposed to meet, and you guys seen and now go. You know. So Marceau and Funky Dineva have developed a really good friendship because Funky Dineva feels as though him being an openly gay black man, there are not a lot of straight men that want to be friends with him. And Marceau is a prime example of a straight man having no issue with befriending a gay man. And he said, I can show them you could be toxic but not homophobic. So he said, okay, let's cut all this. He wanted a free drink and he wanted to get down to the tea that he found out on the way here. Like, what's going on here? I saw all over social media. There was a fight that happened in the parking lot. Like, what's up? I heard you were fighting. I heard your mama saying something about somebody's children. So what's going on? I think they were prepped to answer this question, in my opinion. Okay. Tisha said that she was there, but she didn't hear everything, and that everything turned out, everything from the conversation from her mother's live is what brought to this. Okay. And Marceau took it upon himself to explain how Melody and Miss Wanda were in each other's faces. Marcel came and defended Melody, and Marceau came and defended Tisha and Miss Wanda. And Funky Dineva said, see, this is the problem. Women don't understand that putting men in dangerous situations because of women being catty and bullshit, of arguing and fighting. I was like, what? What'd you say? I said that women need to stop putting men in dangerous situations for them being catty and petty. Hearing how another man is agreeing with Marceau that women needs to stop putting men in situations. I was like, excuse me? And listening to, they broke the fourth wall with saying how in situations, I'm telling her, don't jump in. You don't gotta do this. I'm handling the situation. She's like, wants me, oh, right. So how he wants to handle it by not letting her jump in. I wrote, we're going in circles. Again, to avoid talking about what happened. Your mama was on Facebook Live talking about somebody's children. You also agreed to the fact that Melody had an affair that led to her getting pregnant, and that's not Martell's baby. Both of y'all, Tisha and your mama, have said this. But she wasn't talking about that baby. She was talking about the baby that Melody had a you know what. Still wrong to do. I said, Tisha, you are not about to make it seem as if you have no idea of why Melody was mad when you decided to walk in on a Valentine's Day event in sneakers and a high ponytail. You can miss me, okay? He's telling her, you think at some point you're going to tell your mom she don't need to come around no more? But that's my mom. That's my mom. He's like, no, your mama needs to chill, okay? Because from the viewers, it feels like your mama defends your battles. It feels like you allow for your mama to speak for you and you stay silent for it. Correct, Funky, correct. And your mama's causing you so much problems that you need to tell her to take a step back. Now she's going, back to the biblical times, honor thy mother and thy father. He said, listen. We were all raised in that time, but you need to reject what was raised in you and bring up the parts that make sense, okay? Sometimes you gotta tell your mama to stay out your business. Mama, I got this. No. Mama, I got this, okay? So hearing from Funky that she needs to tell her mom to take a step back, Marceau said, don't you dare defend what he's been saying about your mama when I've been telling you that about your mama for years. Don't you dare say, okay, I hear you, when I've been saying this for the longest. But we all know why you've been saying it, Marceau. So it's like, what do? I don't know what to do. Like, y'all don't see behind the scenes. I tell her that she don't gotta do this. I tell her that she needs to stop. But she still does what she does, and I can't control what she does. No, you can. You can, Tisha. But what you also need to do is remind your mama. Remind your mama that, mama, I know you're defending me, but you don't need to. I'm a grown woman. I got kids. I got a husband. I can take care of myself. But you don't need to take it upon yourself to dig up information or make up lies about somebody. You don't need to do that. That's wrong, okay? And it is bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the thing that people need to tell Tisha, but Tisha don't want to do it. Tisha, we're not saying that you need to kick your mama out of your life. No. What we're saying is your mama is the cause and the downfall of you Your marriage and everybody else's relationships on this show, your mama is the cause of it. You need to tell your mama to stop. Okay? Only have your mama around you and your family. Don't bring her around the other cast because it's not going to end well. It's really not. Love your mama, defend your mama, protect your mama, but also let your mama know that she's wrong. She's wrong. And that's what Tisha don't want to do. And it's irritating. Like, that's the point they're trying to tell you, Tisha. Tell your mama that she's wrong. Tell your mama that she needs to stop. But y'all, that's it. That's all I have. Please stay tuned for the next video, and I'm going to see you guys later. Bye.